Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Rooted in Design. Today, I want to talk about some misconceptions I feel homeowners have going into a renovation project that I want to clarify so you are more confident and knowledgeable when moving forward with a project like that. So, for the first tip, I would say in misconception people have is that when they want to do a project, they run straight to ask for a contractor. And I always like to educate that, yes, it's nice to have input of the contract at the beginning, but they won't be able to really give you an accurate price for the project or what it would end up being at the end because you need drawings prior in order to do that. So the first person to really reach out is the architect. So me, because then I'm able to understand what you're trying to do and I can educate you through the steps and phases of the full project. I always say that it is nice to have that contractor along the design process because they can go from giving you a rough cost per square footage, depending on the average projects they've done in the past that are similar to yours. But as we develop drawings through doing just schematic design layouts, they can adjust on that. But as we start adding details and they become true construction documents, it'll be so fine tuned that they will be super on point with pricing on different scopes, whether it's the electrical, the plumbing, the finishes, the structural wood that we'll be using if it's an addition, etc. Because sometimes contractors they have an idea of what they roughly would do. Say they are quoting you. If you ask them, they're going to quote say 2x8s for the floor joists. But based on the size, the structure, or elements, I designed something that you need 2x10s. That's an added cost they didn't take into account. So if you think that they give you at the beginning, oh, it's going to be a $200,000 renovation in addition, but once the drawings are fully detailed, it might be 300K just because of the wood and other elements that you added on. Because you might give them a certain idea, but I dig in and ask exactly what you need, what the space needs to look like. And then you might realize that the design itself ends up being something different than what you originally discussed because it's worth more. But also in the sense of you don't want to go over budget, we can always have that number ahead of time where you don't want to supersede and designing to that number. So that might mean facing your project because you can't fit it all at once or cutting back on certain elements that are just wants in order to fit your budget for now. And then we can address other elements in the future. So having that open mind and patience of doing it right will keep you from having future change orders. There are always unforeseens. So I always tell people to have some contingency money for unforeseen elements when opening the walls or something happening through the construction. But those change orders during construction shouldn't be because he quoted a tile that was $1.50, but you wanted a $3 tile. So even picking your materials with the architect ahead of time will really give you a real estimate in number when they're looking at the project before we file or after we have filed and before they start construction. So if you have any questions related to this or please let me know. I would say I kind of like rolled on with that misconception. I always say that another key misconception is that it can, people think that certain things don't need permits just because it's within the house or like within certain elements, and they ask certain people who don't have the right knowledge. For instance, I had a client talk to me that they were talking to a friend because they were doing work in their house and their architect was there and they asked, oh, do I need permit for this fence? In that town, because it was a 4-foot high fence, you did not need permits. But in the town that he lives in and his house is in, it did need permits. So I needed to talk to him and say that you can't just say, just because it's here, I can do it too. You have to be very zoomed into your area. So understanding that element and finding all the right information before you take the lead in doing the work would help you so you don't get a violation. Thank you. Are you a homeowner who is looking to expand your home so you have enough space for everything you need in your home? Or do you want to renovate because the interior just doesn't work for your needs anymore? Or are you someone who's looking for a property, but nothing that you've been looking at really fits what you need? Well, my name is Katherine Serrano Sosa. I'm the founder of Rooted Architecture Studio, and I can help you bring those renovations and adjustments to life. At Rooted Architecture Studio, we focus on creating meaningful, inclusive, client-centric designs for homeowners and investors. We walk you through the whole process of designing construction and making sure that you understand what's going on, but take away all the layers so you can sit back and just focus on the deliverables of what we're designing. We make sure that your non-negotiables are integrated and your wants and needs are integrated to the best of our abilities. So if you are looking to do anything that I just discussed, or just have ideas that you might want to talk about what the possibilities may be, give us a call and reach out through social media as well, and we'll be happy to help you. And if you're looking for a new property, make sure to connect with Dream Select Realty. They're the right people to help you find the right property for you and make sure that your needs are integrated. Or if we're renovating, we can all collaborate together to bring that vision to life.